Solitude means that you are spending time with yourself where you're not influenced by the minds of other people. So you can be having solitude in a cafe, you can be having solitude in a park with other people around, you can be having solitude at home, potentially. The thing is, are you with your own thoughts, or are you being influenced by others? Now, the reason solitude is so important is that if we don't spend time with ourselves, we can't process all the things that are going on in our life. And right now there's so much stuff going on in the world and in our own lives that if we don't take the time to kind of process what's happening, how do we feel about it, what do we need to do about it, what's wrong with the situation, what's right about it, what needs to change, all these things, they take time to process, And if we don't have any time to process, then we're not going to process them, and then we start to gradually become slightly mad. And not surprisingly, this thing here is one of the main reasons that people don't have enough solitude. Because if this device is binging away all the time, check, then we can literally never get a break. Now, of course, technology has its benefits. You might be watching this video on a cell phone. I'm not against all kinds of cell phones or technology completely, but the thing is, we need to take time, or we won't know who we are. We won't know who we are, we won't know what we want, we won't know what is actually important to us. And if we don't know those things, then we end up living someone else's life. Because remember, solitude means being free from the thoughts and the minds of other people. If we're not free from those things, then it means that other people's minds are influencing our mind. And that means we're not living our own life. We're living someone else's life. Living someone else's life. And unfortunately, people have found a very good way of brainwashing us through these things. So we can be sitting here, scrolling through this thing, getting affected by all this information, and ending up living somebody else's life. So here's what you can do. Number one, the most important thing is to create time. Create time. We have calendars, and those calendars are normally full up of other people's stuff, which is great. We're here to help people, we're here to have a life, obviously, right? But you need to have time in your calendar for you, not for others all the time, but for you. So block time. How much time do you need for yourself? It's perfectly fine, because if we don't take care of ourselves, we will literally go mad after a while, right? You start to explode. So consider it as a health benefit. Taking solitude to strengthen yourself, to look after yourself, to nourish yourself, to spend time in nature, or to spend time reading, or to spend time, running, or doing exercise, or reading a book, or reading magazines, or whatever it is, right? Everyone likes different things. That time is as important, perhaps more important than anything else. I remember a story from the Dalai Lama, who said that if he's busy, he normally has 20 minutes meditation. If he's really, really busy, he has 2 hours meditation. Now, that's kind of funny, but I'm sure he's kind of one of those Buddhist things. It's a bit, but I'm sure he actually does this as well, because the more busy we are, the more time we need for ourselves to remain focused and clear. So number one, schedule your time. Put it in your calendar if you need to. Block it off. Second thing is to think about, what would you like to do with that time? What do you love to do? What makes you joyful? What makes you free? I'll give an example. I like to just sit and do nothing. Meditation is part of that. Just looking out the window, like we live in most of the time in beautiful places, so just looking at the mountains, looking at the sky, right? Just doing nothing can lead to a lot. There's a funny quote from a movie: doing nothing can lead to the very best of something.
Oh, yes. Doing nothing often leads to the very best of something.
And it's true, right? So we need to take that time to ourselves. But what do you particularly like? What do you personally like? Write it down, think about these things, because the more you know, the more you can do those things. Just because someone else doesn't like it doesn't mean you can't do it. Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss. Follow your bliss.
I came to this idea of bliss because in Sanskrit, which is the great spiritual language of the world, and they know all about it and have known about it for a long time. The transcendent is transcendent. But there are three terms that bring you to the brink. You might say the jumping off place to the ocean. And the three terms are Sat, Chit, Ananda. And Sat, the word Sat means being. Chit means full consciousness. And Ananda means rapture. So I thought, I don't know whether my consciousness is full consciousness or not. I don't know whether my being is proper being or not, but I do know where my rapture is. So let me hang on to rapture, and that'll bring me both being and full consciousness, and it works.
So during that hour or more every day, do something that makes you feel free, makes you forget your worries, forget your relationships, forget all the details of your life, all your situations, and just be doing whatever it is that brings you joy. To nourish yourself, to renew yourself, to refresh yourself.
And if you feel a bit afraid of spending time in solitude, time with yourself, I know a lot of people feel that way, especially in today's culture. Try and do something easy, like take a bath, or you can have solitude in the shower. And if you really feel like your thoughts are racing and you feel anxious or uncomfortable, perhaps take out a journal and just start writing. Often writing can be really healing and just allow us to move through any energy and resistance we initially have to spending time in solitude. So do something that works for you. Start easy, start slow if you feel a bit worried about it, and you will reap the benefits the more you take the time.
Sometimes one of the best things to do is just take a nap, just to lie down and have a rest, right? A lot of people don't get enough sleep, so if you feel tired, take a nap. 20-minute nap does the trick, it really does. So sometimes just lying down in bed, thinking about things, just going to sleep really makes a huge difference. And of course, guided meditations are great. On Insight Timer, we have hundreds of meditations you can listen to. So you can just listen to one of our meditations or someone else's meditation, something that makes you feel really good, and that can really, really make a huge difference. And in our world, I really consider this perhaps the most important nutrient, solitude. Because we can be taking all these supplements and all these pills and all these things, right, for our health. But our mental health, our mental and our emotional health massively affects our physical health. So if we're not taking care of ourselves and we're not having solitude, we're going to screw up our physical health, right? But if we do, that's going to give you massive health benefits because the mind affects the body. And if you're happy and you're relaxed and you enjoy your life, then you're less likely to be sick. Many people get sick because they don't have enough time to process and they're too stressed out and they're disturbed internally. It creates illness. So if you get that proper quality time, solitude time, then you can actually enjoy being alive. And you're less likely to get sick, less likely to have problems. And end of the day, I always come back to this. End of the day, why are we here in this world anyway? What are we doing here? Why are we here? Are we here to be stressed out, running around, causing trouble? Or are we here to enjoy being alive? Is that what we're here for? I'd like to think we're here to enjoy being alive. That's the purpose of our life. And that's only going to actually happen if we enjoy being alive, if we take time to enjoy being alive, and we actually do enjoy being alive. So that all begins by figuring out what do you love and making time, creating time to do it. What if you feel guilty? What if you feel you don't deserve to spend time with yourself? It's quite common. A lot of people will guilt trip you if you try and take time off. So, oh, why aren't you working? Why aren't you working? Well, we need time. We need time. So you just have to block it off in your calendar. Pretend you have an appointment with someone else. You know, it's an appointment with yourself. It's just as important, more important than an appointment with anyone else. So remember that actually looking after yourself means you can look after others. If you don't look after yourself, you're going to need other people to look after you, because you're going to end up in a bit of a mess, right? The reason people are so distressed, one of the big reasons, is they don't get enough peace of mind, they don't get enough solitude. So instead of thinking that it's selfish to look after yourself, think that it's completely crucial and essential for your sanity and your well-being and your ability to help others. So any worries that you're being selfish, just let it go. Enjoy being with yourself. Find out what a wonderful, lovely being you actually are. And then you can give blessings and love to other beings, other people in your life. Make your own life better and make the lives of others better as well. So hopefully this is helpful. Much love. Many blessings.